things that you do to me. Well, thank you very much for joining us on of the World Beat. I am HALLAN DAPHNIS. I am being joined by another New Yorker. I like to say another New Yorker because he resided here many years ago in New York, and of course he has served in the U.S. Armed Forces, resides currently in South Florida. He is also a psychologist. I am talking about Dr. MARC Lafalaise. Dr. Lafalaise, a pleasure to have you on the program, bro.
Oh man, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, when I heard that you were going to be here in New York City, I said, well, I have to take time out from an open mic just to talk and chill with you a little bit. So everything okay here in the Big Apple?
Of course, man, I enjoy it. Every time I come here, man, it's a pleasure, you know, because I meet people that I have not seen for many, many years, you know, just now, tonight, man. Look at this. I met this dude here that I went to high school with, you know, Erasmus Hall, you know, so, hey, man, the pleasure is mine. And of course, you're the ambassador here and every over there, man. What can I say? What can I say?
Absolutely amazing.
I'm where I belong, brother.
Now, one thing about you, Dr. MARC Lafalaise, and myself, and I know that we want to take it straight to all of you because you are Haitian American, and Haiti was hit by a devastating earthquake over a year and about 4 months ago. And when that particular earthquake hit our country, what went through your mind at that particular time?
Well, truthfully, man, I said, well, wow, I always thought Haiti couldn't be down and out, you know, even where it was before.
Okay.
But when the earthquake happened and you see the devastation, the tremendous agony of our people, what was happening, so it really touches all of us. And I think, truthfully though, we all become a real Haitian, you know, because we empathize, we sympathize. We know we did not know whether our family were not victim of the earthquake. So you know, so it was really a calamity or catastrophe that affected all of us.
All right. Now we were all of us affected. There was no doubt about that. Now, as a psychologist or a psychotherapist, so many things that happen through the mind of the people of Haiti. What psychological impact do you believe that earthquake had on Haiti and still has as far as today is concerned?
Well, truthfully, you know, I see there are a few things that happened. First of all, when the thing happened, people were in shock.
Okay.
You know, and of course, you know, the first shock is, but the thing is, they all congregate, they all come together to save each other, you know, to work for the, you know, like, first, this is what people tend to forget. Before the so-called international community got there, the Haitian people were there.
Okay.
And then they were there with their hands, you know, and then pulling their people out of rocks, you know what I mean? But of course it was a shock, you know, and suddenly, man, you know, within seconds, you know, like less than 3 minutes, over 230,000 people died.
Okay.
So of course it traumatized them, you know what I mean? And the people were already traumatized by, you know, by the fact that the economic situation of Haiti, by poor governance of Haiti, and now, you know, and this thing that happened, you know, and people were like freaked out, man, you know, because I was freaked out. So if someone says, you know, you understand these people, but you have to be there, you have to be part of that stuff, you know, to understand the, you know, what happened to the Haitian people. And also, you also have what they call the post-trauma, you know what I mean? Because when you first hit with that stuff, you don't really you go through a process, you know what I mean? It's like you are emotionally shocked, you know, and then you are so busy trying to save your brother and your sisters, you know, and trying to congregate, to pull our resources together. And it's after the events, and that's what we have now. Lots of Haitian, you know, and because of in Haiti per se, we have problem with psychology, you know, and you know, because people always associate psychology with what we call craziness, you know, being fool, you know what I mean, and having like we say a neurotic, you know, you know, a problem, you know, and people, I say that in Creole, voy wash, you know what I mean. But now suddenly people are feeling kind of wow, you know, they were confused, they don't know what's happening, they couldn't explain how they feel. Even my own father, who's an old man of 84 years old, he says, man, if you weren't there, you don't know, you cannot explain it. So
I can relate to that. So many people traveled down there, and I know that there are guys from Miami, New York City. I know that the Mackie Reed went down there, Apostle Paul went down there, Elvie Coetzee went down there, so many others. And you yourself, you had a chance to go down there as well. When you got there to Haiti, what was your first reaction at that particular time?
Well, you know, it's like, you know, of course, you know, before I got there about a week later, you know, but it's like you know, you have seen this thing on TV, so you are not part of it. Okay. And you could just stay, you know, in that, looking at that tube, and yet, you know, you are affected, but you know, but not really sincerely understand the calamity of it, the veracity of it. You know, I mean, the traumatic impact of that earthquake. You know, but when you get there and see the destruction, the massive destruction, the state of our people, you follow me? Like, it's like everyone was in shock, complete shock. People are running away, leaving Port-au-Prince, going back. In other words, if you are talking about this, you know, we're going to do a little politics too, you know. Yeah, no problem. So, you know, if you're talking about decentralization, you know, like Nation said, decentraliser pays, having to spread people around. But of course, you have to create and bring the resources to them. So I think what happened after the earthquake, the people did take off to the countryside. Someone to Jeremy, someone to back to Cap, you know, Capation, Mirage, etc., etc. Exactly. Yes. But there were no resources there for them. But
there is one thing that they say, it's almost as if that the current government, I like to say current because Michel Martelly has been recently elected and Préval is still in power. But it says that this particular current administration, the Préval administration, they were not ready to deal with such a major catastrophe.
Yes, sir.
Now, as a psychologist, not so much as a politician, what is your view on that?
Well, you know, listen to me. Truthfully, you know, I want to be right in what I say.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'm like Préval. You know, listen to me. You know, this, I mean, you have to see the state of what happened, man. Préval was himself in shock.
Okay.
The man was traumatized. If you look at Préval, even the first interview he gave at the airport to Sanjay Gupta, and when he says, you use the word, my palace, I don't have a palace. My palace is that. My house is down. And then my palace. Of course, people criticize him. But the man was in shock.
Okay, but when you take what happened in terms of contrast with Rodolfo Giuliani when 9/11 happened here in the United States, and of course he basically took charge. I never heard any particular complaint from him at that particular time.
But understand one thing.
How would you want to compare those two? And I don't mean to basically differentiate or belittle. Or I'm talking about in terms of leadership.
Well, put it this way. Truthfully, if you were looking at Préval, you're going to assess Préval and how Préval respond, you will see there's a total failure of leadership based on what happened. You know, what's happening is happening. Okay. But one must also understand, and here you have structure, you have institutions that are ready to provide help. You have a federal government
here in the United States.
In the United States, you have you see, this happened to New York, but since New York is the center of commerce, and everyone was affected. Even people as far as, you know, Saudi Arabia, you know, I mean, that where most of the so-called, you know, what you call it, kidnappers, they were, or the hijackers, they were part of that country, but yet there were people from Saudi Arabia that were in that building. You follow me? So what I'm saying is this, but they have institutional, you know, like structure and administration, government, and good governance. So Mr. Giuliani preside over a country that is organized, whereas Mr. Préval was in, you know, is preside over government that did not exist. You follow me? It's as you go and the thing is begin to develop. You see? So in reality, you know, people like to blame Préval a lot, but where was the Prime Minister?